Okay, so in this experiment, we're going to determine which type of material is the best insulator. That means to keep the warmth in. So for this experiment, you're going to need a kettle. I am using a 100 ml beaker, right? Other teachers may use different sizes. Size doesn't matter really. Then we've got a thermometer, which you'll need. You're going to need a stopwatch, a measuring cylinder, which goes up to 100 ml, and we're going to use a cardboard lid with a hole in it. These will be ready made for you already. And finally, we're going to have different materials. So I've got two materials examples here. Number one is a bubble wrap, and number two is some underlay for laminate carpet. Okay, so those are the two materials I'm using as an example. You will be using other materials as well. So let's talk about the procedure. So procedure number one, what you're going to do, first what we're going to do is we're going to have a control. Okay, and a control, the reason we have a control is so that we know how the heat will dissipate into the environment if we have nothing on it, so there's no insulator at all. So number one, I'm going to switch on my kettle. Okay, so I'm going to switch on my kettle, let the kettle boil up, and there it is, it's working. Once it's boiled up, okay, I'm going to pretend it has boiled up. What you're going to do is you're going to measure out 70 mils of that hot boiling water. Now, because it's hot boiling water, you need to remember a few things. Number one, it's hot boiling water, so be careful. Number two, do not sit down, okay? Do not do this practical sitting down, because if you get hot water all over your legs, you are not going to be happy. Neither are we. So I've got like about 80 mils there. I need to tip it out into the beaker so that I've got 10 mils left. Now you guys are going to do this accurately. I haven't done this accurately, okay? So as soon as you've put that water in, you're going to take your lid, or in fact, because there's no insulation on this one, you're just going to place it in, and you're going to start the stopwatch. Now you're going to take a reading every 5 minutes for a total of 20 minutes. So that's what you're going to do. Every 5 minutes, you take a reading for 20 minutes. So by the end of it, you should have 5, 10, 15, 20, 4 readings. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you move on to the next step. I'll cover that now. So what you do is you pour out for some fresh boiling water from the kettle again, and you wrap it in your insulator. So in this case, I'm wrapping my bubble wrap around my beaker. As you can see, the bubble wrap is way too big, so we need to cut it down to size. I've got my scissors here, and what I've done is I've prepared some sellotape, because I'm going to sellotape the bubble wrap on. So it's best to have these strips of sellotape prepared, so it's nice and easy. So I'm going to pause the video and get it prepared. Okay, so what you do is you wrap the insulator around your beaker, which I've just done, and then you should add the boiling water, okay? Because obviously if you pour the boiling water in first, that's a problem. You're going to have loads of heat energy dissipating into the environment. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to place your thermometer into your cardboard lid, and you're going to place it into the beaker. Now obviously you're going to have done this quickly so that you don't lose heat energy. Make sure you can read the reading of the thermometer, and once again, as soon as that's in, you start your stopwatch. So you start your stopwatch, and once again you're recording the temperature every 5 minutes for a total of 20 minutes, and that will give you your results. You're going to repeat this procedure for different materials, so this material and loads of other materials that you will be given on the day. Okay, next what I'm going to cover is what the table might look like. So this is what our table could look like. I've got temperature at the top, and I'm recording it every 5 minutes, so 5, 10, 15, 20. And here's the type of insulation that I've got. So initially that's my control. I'm going to have no insulation, and my bubble wrap, then underlay, and then whatever other materials you are given. Okay, so just one thing to remember is that you want one wrap around your beaker. You don't want more than one. You want to keep it fair so that you can compare the results correctly. If you have 10 layers of one, or let's say you got 10 layers of the bubble wrap but only one layer of the underlay, you can't compare those results because it's an unfair test. But we're moving away from saying unfair test, and we're talking about whether things are comparable or not. So if you've got one layer of this and one layer of this, you can say that's a fair comparison. If you've got 10 layers of this and one layer of that, that's not a fair comparison.